Residents of the Mid-Ohio Valley attended a town hall to learn about the findings from the Peoples Cartage fire that happened in July. Our Haley Johnson went to the meeting to learn more about the findings.
Independent environmental tester Scott Smith shared his preliminary research from the fire so far. A commonly used comparison from the meeting was the train derailment that happened in East Palestine, Ohio, to give some context. The smoke plume from the train derailment was 2,800 feet. The Peoples Cartage fire plume went up 10,000 feet, covering at least a 35-mile radius. Through his findings so far, he has tested 4 chemicals: metal, dioxins, PFAS, and
semi-volatile organic compounds in a category within that called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons.
Smith says something to watch out for is the animals not drinking the water. He says that can be a sign that your water is contaminated.
For people that have wildlife or livestock not going into the water, not behaving the same way, they need to reach out and we'll look into it.
During a Q&A session, many concerns were brought up from residents who received burns from touching their plants and developing sudden illnesses.
Just because somebody's not sick doesn't mean the person reporting symptoms after the impact from the fire is making it up. And that's why we talk about toxicant-induced lack of tolerance, or exposure to mixtures of chemicals can create problems in people's bodies that don't go away.
Friday, August 14th on WTAP+, we will have Scott Smith in studio to talk more about his findings and what he wants the people of the Mid-Ohio Valley to know about this fire. Reporting for the Mid-Ohio Valley, I'm Haley Johnson with WTAP News.